Libra ascendant. Mars rules 7th and 2nd house. Almost all of your personal life, marriage, wealth, finances, bank balance, assets, food, and your relationship with public, circumstantial events, business. So many things are controlled by one single planet, Mangal. When this Mars moves in the 5th house, it is actually extremely positive for Libra ascendant natives because second lord goes in the 5th house, second lord goes 4th from itself, and this is a positive move by Mangal. Mars in 5th house will make its conjunction with Jupiter and Venus. Venus will be there till 27th April, whereas Jupiter will be there till 13th of April. And this gives Mangal enough knowledge to increase the productivity and also guide you to how to guide you to improve your skills through certification, through learning, and through hard work. This is exceptionally good transit for students or people who are willing to appear for civil services examination, government examination. This is a very good transit for engineers, and this is a good transit for teachers or people associated with teaching or education as a profession. Mars, being 7th lord, goes 11th from itself, so this also gives more chances to initiate marriage, finalize marriage, or it also can act as a good marriage yoga through transit, provided your Mahadasha or Antardasha allows that. Now, there is another concept. 2nd and 7th lord are considered to be Markesh. And here one single planet becomes Markesh. Is it negative? Well, if you are going to burn yourself out to improve your productivity, if your expectations crosses all boundaries, and if your appetite of risk becomes more than what you can digest, then definitely overeating or overfeeding on this Martian energy may actually act as Markesh. Control your food, bring discipline in your day-to-day life. When you are trying to invest money, especially in speculative business, then you will have to manage all the risk. Risk management becomes the theme of this Martian transit for Libra ascendant and Libra moon sign. Mars will also experience presence of Saturn, the Lord of Aquarius, in fact the Mula Trikona sign of Aquarius, from 29th of April. So from 29th of April, you will have to be an obedient student. The person who will act as an obedient person, who will understand these energy fluctuations, who understand the flow of energy and will act in a very patient manner, will actually find the results favoring in his or her favor, but otherwise you will end up pressing the acceleration when the brake is already there. In the Aquarius zodiac sign, Saturn is far more stronger than Mars. In fact, Mars can be said to be slightly irritated in this zodiac sign. This is an air zodiac sign. This is a fire that is continuously getting fanned by the air, and you don't know the direction of the fire. So, kind of Mars is directionless. Now, when the second lord is in the 5th house, this means you might consume most of your wealth. Understand why you are consuming it. Is it an investment? Is it for your own personal consumption? Or is it because you believe in something? You believe in higher productivity of an instrument? Then at that time, understand the results of your karma, the do's and don'ts, and the actual realization of efforts. Say you are investing in some instrument, or you are investing into a relationship, then you must understand that the scale in which you are investing should be proportional to the instrument itself. And is it high risk or low risk? Because if it is low to medium risk, it's fine. If the area where you are going to give your energy, mind, body, soul, love, if that is an area of higher risk, then you should be concerned, you should be alert and you should look out for red flags and try to protect yourself. Chanting Panchmukhi Hanuman Kavach and chanting every day Hanuman Chalisa is going to be an excellent way to control this Martian energy. Mars will also aspect 8th house. 8th house Lord Venus is with Mars. So definitely this will give you an idea to invest in trading, stock market. It can also push you towards gambling in case you have an afflicted Mars in your own horoscope. So be careful. Share market, people who are investing in share market will definitely get a boost, but then you must control your flow of karma, control your desire, because if you become greedy, then this will backfire. On the positive note, Mars in the 5th house will make you more productive. It will make you more proactive. You will now start looking for more action rather than words. And with Mars aspect on the 11th house, you are going to scrutinize your source of income and you will definitely going to monitor it and figure out the loopholes and ways to improve. And that is exactly what you should do with Mars transit in the 5th house. With Mars and Saturn in the 5th house, people who have bad relationship or strained relationship with their children should be careful enough, because this can result into a higher conflict, an ego-based conflict. And people who are trying for childbirth may find some resistance. So you must be humble, you must be slow, you must have patience. Mars will also aspect the 12th house. So this is a desperate attempt to curb the losses, cut down the losses and expenses. So this should be a practical way of living a life, minimalistic way of living a life, in which you are not only considering what you need in life, but also how much you will have to spend, or what is the barter that you have to go through, that you will have to execute in order to achieve or get what you want. Usually money in this case. Chanting Mahalakshmi Mantra, chanting Shri Suktam, at least fast on Tuesday for at least 1.5 months. Fasting doesn't mean going hungry, it means detoxification. And eating at least less low calorie food on every Tuesday will be helpful in cleaning out the brain fog, decluttering your life and streamlining things in a positive manner. This is a transit that will streamline your path of life. This is a transit of higher energy. Just that you must know your own ceiling. There is a saying, Tete pao pasariye jeti lambi saur. That means you should not go beyond your capacity. The one who will not go beyond his capacity but will work on increasing the capacity will find this transit to be extremely productive, beneficial, successful and full of energy. And the one who will try to stretch the rubber beyond a certain limit, the rubber will break. Ensure your karma is well within your capacity. And what can you do? Improve your capacity. Also, you will have to work on your soft skills. You will have to work on your expression, because a day after Mars will make its move in the sign of Libra, Mercury will make its move in the sign of Aries, and Rahu is going to be in Aries for at least 1.5 years from 12th of April. So Aries is a zodiac sign that is definitely troubled by the energy of Rahu. And Rahu needs Martian energy to expand. And Mars in the sign of Aquarius is basically in the zodiac sign of Rahu. So there's a Rahu-Mars exchange, a Parivartan Yoga. So be careful whom you are trusting. Trust can be a problem, and that can create issues in life. If you manage your anger, if you manage your enthusiasm, and you stay positive, this transit is all profit. This transit is totally beneficial for Libra ascendant. Scorpio ascendant. Ketu was on your ascendant from past 1.5 years. On 12th of April, Ketu will move out of your ascendant and it will move in the 12th house. Therefore, your ascendant frees from the energy of Ketu. And not only that, your second house, which is Sagittarius, which is basically the house of wealth and finance and family, also gets free from the Pap Kartari, because Ketu and Saturn are no longer keeping Sagittarius under hold. Mars, being your ascendant lord, holds key energy secrets for your ascendant to develop and therefore your life to flourish. Mangal moves in the 4th house on 7th of April. Now this is a very crucial movement because Lagna Lord goes in the 4th house being Sukha house of comfort, house of family, assets, wealth, property, real estate. People associated with real estate business, property business, manufacturing, electrical goods, electronics will see good boost in their career and business overall. 4th house Mars means that there definitely can be some movement into a real estate matter or a property or inheritance related matter that was pending or stuck from a very long time. Mars also rules your 6th house. When 6th Lord goes in the 4th house, it means you might be now interested, or it will be possible for you now onwards to buy a property through loans, to clear your debt by paying off the assets. It clears off the burden of something that you were carrying from a very long time. Overall, Mars' presence in the sign of Aquarius along with Jupiter and Venus is extremely beneficial, especially for your career, because all these 3 planets are watching the 10th house. Mars movement here makes you more aggressive, proactive, and it pushes you more beyond your comfort zone to create and to find resolution of problems. Jupiter will move in the sign of Pisces on 13th of April. Jupiter's movement in the 5th house not only aspects your ascendant, but it also aspects your 9th house. Therefore, giving power to the trine 159, and on the other hand, Mars, being the first lord, sits in the 4th house, aspects the 7th and 10th. Therefore, the entire trine is under control of Jupiter, and entire Kendra, central houses 1, 4, 7 and 10 comes under direct impact of Mars. This is a brilliant position to utilize the Martian energy, the competitive spirit, the healthy debate to come out from the problems of life. Mars 8th aspect is the aspect that you should watch out for, because Mars 8th aspect will be falling on the 11th house. That means, say, there is a source of income that you are not comfortable with. This Mars would want you to end that, follow your passion, fulfill your desire. It will increase the desire to expand your identity, expand and upgrade your lifestyle, which is good, but then feasibility of action should be judged, especially after the month of May. On 29th of April, Saturn will make its move in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius will have no longer Venus or Jupiter presence. Venus would have moved to Pisces, Jupiter would have moved to Pisces by then. And the moment Saturn enters, again, there is a Shani Mangal Saturn Mars combination in the 4th house, which aspects your 10th house. It shows, are you lazy? Are you not disciplined? Because if you are not disciplined, if you are lazy, it will start creating problems in your home. It will start delaying things. And unnecessarily Martian energy that was supposed to give you the positive side, that was supposed to give you positive results, will now see the block of Shani, because after all, Aquarius is the Mula Trikona zodiac of Shani. Now, on one hand, Saturn would want Mars to filter everything, treat everything with patience, take each step cautiously. On the other hand, Rahu's move in the sign of Aries is definitely going to influence Mars big time. This is the aggression of Mars to resolve the issue now and now itself. This aggression, this determination should be carefully handled, because sometimes even if you want the resolution now, the resolution may not come. So you must weigh all the sides, the pros and the cons of your action, and then decide. It can also give an ego-based decision or a knee-jerk reaction to a situation just out of anger. And you may utilize your contacts to reach somewhere, to fulfill your karma, and that can create more enemies, it can create more debates, it will call for war. It's an unnecessary war, and you should not put yourself into a situation where your fight is without a cause. With Rahu in the 6th house and Ketu aspecting the Mars, definitely this energy can go reckless anytime. So to utilize this energy properly, bind yourself with rules and regulation, follow a structure and a pattern, read, strategize the event, and then execute the task. 4th house is also the house of mother. This Mars here can also indicate that you are worried about your mother's health. 4th house and 11th house are also happiness, brotherhood, connection with friends and family. When Mars goes here, it may distance you because of your anger. So if you have anger issues, ego issues, if you are suffering from depression, anxiety, then this is the time when you should chant Hanuman Chalisa 100 times during the Mars transit period. And you should visit Hanuman temple. Do a lot of grounding exercises and balance your heart chakra by praying Bhagwan Hanuman mantra Om Ham Hanumate Namah, and also by doing Pankaj Mudra, the lotus mudra. Balancing the tattva is necessary, and to balance, your heart needs to be open. Mars is a brute strength that can shut down all the gates in order to defense. So this Mars can see that because you might get hurt in the future, it can create an emotional wall around you and nobody will be able to penetrate. You will be so defensive. This ultra defense is not necessary. So you must be practical enough to understand that the defense also should not go beyond a certain capacity, and offense should be done only when necessary, and this is irrespective of the field that you can imagine. It can be on health, it is also true for marriage, it is true for career, and it is true for students also. Jupiter is there to balance, trust me, Jupiter is there to balance. Jupiter will balance Lagna and the 9th house, but Mars is sheer strength. Jupiter aspects your Lagna, but Mars is your Lagna Lord. So Rahu's influence on this Mars is too high. And if you think you are getting unnecessary aggression, you are getting angry, you are getting frustrated, then this is the time to chant Durga Saptashati, praying to Ma Durga, chanting Mahishasur Mardini Stotram is going to help you in a great way. Fast on Tuesdays, detoxify on Tuesdays, help people on Tuesdays. These are also some remedies by which you can pacify the Martian energy. And this Martian energy can also make you too possessive in relationships. It can make you overprotective, especially towards your spouse and children, near and dear ones. Your near and dear ones can hurt you, and even a slightest change in their habit or lifestyle or their attitude can trigger a reaction from you. Prevent yourself from all such instances by not reacting to situation, and whenever such situation comes, immediately in your mind start chanting Mangala mantra or Hanuman mantra. Grounding exercises, walking on the grass, waking up early in the morning, doing some exercise, especially pranayam, is going to be beneficial for overall health. Just one thing, stress can increase because Mars is not a planet of relaxation. Mars is a planet of action, and this is a Mars of midnight because it's the 4th house. Therefore, you will be mostly active in the night. So try to reduce the use of gadgets in the night time. Sleep properly, because if your sleep gets disturbed, this can impact your overall health and overall performance. This Mars transit is actually beneficial when you see it clubbed with Jupiter transit. It's a rare one, it's a good one, make the best use of it. Sagittarius ascendant. Mars rules your 5th and 12th house. Being a trine lord, Mars is a very important planet for you. Mars is the source of energy by which you execute your life's task. Mars defines your productivity, and it defines the brute strength of your zodiac sign. This Mangal goes in the 3rd house. Now, Mars' presence in the 3rd house actually enhances the capabilities of the person. For Sagittarius ascendant and Sagittarius moon sign, Mars presence in the third house makes you stronger, it increases the willpower, it gives you more confidence, it brings more enthusiasm, and it gives a lot of support. You will also see that there will be people to help you, and you will also end up helping many people. Mars will be with Venus and Jupiter. Therefore, Mars will have a very close impact on your ascendant, and through your difficulties, you will be able to figure out what is right and what is wrong in the first week of the Mars transit. On 13th of April, Jupiter will make its move in the sign of Pisces. For Sagittarius ascendant, this is a brilliant position of Jupiter. 4th house Jupiter aspecting 8th and the 12th house, controlling the financial trine, giving you new opportunities to grow. And Mars is here to initiate that action. Now see, this is how the planets operate. It's not just I have to look only at one planet. I have to look relative position of other planets with respect to that planet. Maybe Mars' true task of this transit will be to initiate the activities for Jupiter. And that is exactly what will happen. For Jupiter to execute something, it will need the energy of Mangal, because after all, the productivity of Sagittarius is ruled by Mars, 5th house. And this Mars will initiate a lot of actions which will continue for a period of 1 year at least. This is the time of the gain of property. People investing in real estate will see good boost. This is the time to build your assets for the future. This is the time to think about your retirement. This is the time to think on a very broader perspective. The drishti, the aspect of life should be towards next 30 years, next 40 years. Mars in the third house means taking bold initiatives, bold decisions, and firm decisions. And that is exactly what you may have to do in the next 1.5 months. That you will have to face your challenge, take the challenge head on, and face the music, take the decision, and then live with it. Make sure that whatever decisions you are making, you are weighing the pros and cons properly, and it is best that if you take this decision after Jupiter makes its move. Venus will be with Mars till 27th of April. Venus rules 6th and 11th Lord. Definitely, this Mangal, which also aspects the 6th house, would want to reduce the clutter in your life, would want you to now take the matters in your own hand and cut down the load, cut down unnecessary things in your life, lean your responsibility, but whatever you have at hand, do it with full strength, full willpower, full devotion, full dedication. Now, you understand that Mars, on one hand, moves in Aquarius. The very next day, Mercury moves to Aries. Now, what is Mercury? Mercury is for Sagittarius 7th and 10th Lord. Now, this Budh is third from Mangal. This is a brilliant formation for people who are associated in software industry or electronics industry, communication sector. That area of life will also improve, and this will improve your communication, and your communication, especially the silent communication like body languages, pauses, accent, attitude, will become more and more influential. Use this influence in a positive manner. Reduce your anger and don't have super belief. Overconfidence can actually create a lot of trouble. Now, another problem here will be exaltation of Sun in the 5th house along with Rahu. This can make you believe that you have superhuman strength and you can do almost anything. But when you will see the feasibility of your action, feasibility of your plans, outcome of your actions, you will weigh in everything, both the bright side of life and the dark side of the life. You will be in a much better position to find out a decision, figure out a solution. And once you utilize this Mars, Sun and Rahu's power struggle that is happening, this power is brute strength, Sagittarius can become the torch bearer of humanity. If you are a Sagittarius ascendant or Sagittarius moon sign, this is the golden opportunity for you to create a name in the society, to uplift your confidence, to make your parents and your nation proud. For Sagittarius, Mars will also aspect the ninth house. You should help your neighbors. You should be a good Samaritan. Mars aspect on the ninth house also shows that you need to protect the dharma of your life. Dharma means what is right and what is wrong, and you need to follow the right path. Problems related to brother will be resolved in this time, but only through dialogue. Patience is absolutely necessary, and after the Saturn makes its move in the sign of Aquarius on 29th of April, it will show your maturity. It says, there was a famous dialogue, with great power comes great responsibility. Same is going to happen for Sagittarius. On one hand, Mars is giving you great powers. On the other hand, Saturn is teaching you greater responsibility. And if Mars is the raw power, raw strength, Saturn is the decision to use or not, and if to use, in what magnitude. If you have this beautiful blend of energy in the right order in your life, if you are able to understand and execute this, Sagittarians will have a beautiful 2022. The bigger picture here is, while Mars makes its move to the sign of Aquarius, Ketu moves out of your 12th house. Therefore, your ascendant is also free from Papa Kartari Yoga. You have enough room to expand. Your willpower, your courage will increase. So this is the right time to take control of any mental illness, phobias, fears, and when you start fighting, when you start facing, although it will be uncomfortable, still it will give you necessary boost, necessary power. Just ensure that you are not fighting a wrong war. Fighting a wrong war means destroying 2022 and all possible beneficial results for you. Balancing the three gunas, balancing the trine, balancing the energies is going to be the theme of Mars transit for Sagittarius ascendant. Make the best use of it. Capricorn ascendant. Mars rules your 4th house and 11th house. Therefore, Mars controls two very crucial and important houses. One, the house of assets, happiness, finance, house of peace of mind, house of mother. And on the other hand, it controls the house that is responsible to give you all the gains, profits, source of income. It also controls how you earn through the investment in assets. And therefore, when this Mars moves out of your ascendant, it gets free from the unnecessary energies of Shani. And this Mars is placed in the 2nd house, which makes you an effective financial leader. This is the transit of financial transformation. This is a transit where you will look out for your assets, the possible profits from those assets, analyze both your comfort zone and source of income. This is a transit where you can follow your passion and convert it into your income. Also, it can convert your income to your passion. Love your job. Love what you do. Don't procrastinate in this transit. And this is the transit of immediate steps, immediate action, obviously with caution, with proper understanding of the situation. 4th Lord going 11th from itself in the 2nd house also shows revenue created from the assets. So this is where your assets is going to give you revenue either by selling it or by putting it on rent, or maybe your business will also improve through these revenue generation model, subscription model. This is a good time for people who are in service industry, telecommunication sector, IT sector, engineering sector, real estate sector, fertilizers, pharmaceuticals, solar industries, and many such industries that is associated with Mars. It can also affect healing and medical line. Mars will be in Sadbhisha Nakshatra and Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in the sign of Aquarius, and these two nakshatras are associated with healing, life beyond the certain dimension, higher journey, spiritual journey. And when Mars goes there, it is like the complete energy and enthusiasm that transforms your life, gives you a new dimension. You will you will also see that your talk, your words are more and more influential. But wait, are you dominating through your talks? Because if you will dominate, then you will lose friends, you will lose your near and dear ones, and it will unnecessarily create a debate, a fight, and you will end up fighting a war that is not even yours. This is the transit where you should value your assets, you should protect your assets. So insurance is one way where you can protect your life, your near and dear ones, and you should plan things in a way for the future that definitely gives shielding to what you already have before you try to get something new. Mars' fourth aspect in the fifth house also shows that your tension towards your children and life's productivity towards old people will be a cause of concern, and that tension will result into you taking some important financial and bold financial decisions in your family and in your life. Mars' seventh aspect in the eighth house wants to ensure and give security to you. So, security is the theme of Mars transit for Capricorn zodiac sign. Jupiter and Venus will be initially with this Mars, giving all the knowledge, both good side and the bad side, left, right, plus, minus, everything will be known to the Capricorn zodiac people. You have already seen Saturn crossing over. There's already so much of transformation. This is a Mars that is going to give the weapon to execute all the ideas and all the experience, and this execution must be done in perfect strategy, and when everything falls into its place, Jupiter will give the necessary output. Why? Because Jupiter is going to go in the third house, and your actions must be wise, your actions must be broad, your actions must bring healing, and all this will happen while Mars moves in the Aquarius zodiac sign. Rahu will make its move in the sign of Aries, and Saturn will make its move in the sign of Aquarius. Rahu will move in Aries on 12th of March, 12th of April, and Saturn will make its move in Aquarius on 29th of April. So mostly after May. Your third house will be under Papkartari. That means Mars will tell you where things can get blocked, where you can find the roadblocks, where the things can actually be negative, where you are going to face the situation that is hard, obstacles, enemies, all these things will be known to you. So utilize this time to strategize your move and then go accordingly. It is not just Mars move, it's a Mars plus Saturn plus Rahu plus Ketu plus Jupiterian energy that is going to heal you, that is going to affect you on a positive way, and Mars is a very important player in this multi-dimensional chess of life. Chanting Hanuman Chalisa every day, helping people who are in the need of blood, giving food to poor people, detoxifying your body on Tuesdays, and eating low-calorie food is one way to handle the unnecessary surge of energy, and that will give an upper limit, an upper cap, and you will be in a much better situation. Just don't dominate. Anger can make you speak some really bad words. However true it may be, the way it should be spoken should be polite and with groundedness, with humbleness. Overall, this Mars transit for the sign of Capricorn is an absolutely positive transit. It will give you new avenues to grow. It will give new relations. It will bring more peace, and it will affect businessmen the most, and it will make businessmen fight for their investment, work aggressively towards their business, and to grow their business more than that they have thought. So it's like increasing the capacity, not it's not an explosion of output, it's not an explosion of growth, but it is more like recalibration of your capacity to deliver. Overall, this is a very, very good and very positive, and it starts a chain of events for Capricorn ascendant that gives them all the good life, positive life. But you have to be very much proactive, don't procrastinate, and don't be lazy. It's a good transit for you. Aquarius ascendant. For Aquarius ascendant, Mars holds two key houses, the third house and the 10th house. What is so crucial about this? There are two very strong two bhavas in the kundli, the houses in a kundli, which involves your karma and your efforts, initiatives. Third house, house of courage, willpower, initiative, and 10th house, house of karma. That means to do anything, you will have to do karma and you will have to take initiatives, even to eat food. And these two houses are ruled by the same planet. That means one planet responsible for almost every action of your life, and that is Mars. So if you're an Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius moon, Mars is one of the most important planet that single-handedly controls most of your actions. And if that planet comes on your ascendant, that means actions are directed and diverted towards you. Your personal health, your personal finances, your personal wishes, your personal looks, your personal dimension, everything is now going to affect you, and you are going to transform all those things with Mars transit in the first house, because this Mars is not just a Mars, but a Mars with Jupiter and Venus. And Jupiter being the Dhanu Lord for you, 11th and the 12th, 11th and the second Lord, Jupiter will give you enough resource that the new desire that will be created in your mind, the new things that you will do in this Mars transit, you will be able to continue doing that for life. And maybe this is a big opportunity to pursue your passion as your career, to do bigger tasks that you always thought impossible, and to reach places where you only thought that you won't be able to reach. This is the time to take initiatives. This is the time to understand your power and your true potential. But yes, with strategy, future planning, checking the feasibility, and not overdoing anything. From 29th of April, your ascendant Lord Saturn will also join this Mars. And for you, it's not negative. Because being the ascendant Lord, once Saturn comes in the first house, it gives power to your own ascendant, and your patience, your future vision, your slow approach to life with passion of Mars gives you one strange, conflicting, yet beautiful quality, an attribute, that you are aggressive by being passive. Saturn's passiveness and Mars' aggression can lead you wherever you want to be. Just you need to manage it carefully. Whom should you focus? Saturn or Mars? Well, Mars transit is brief, so right now you can focus on Mars, but on the long run, Saturn is what is going to help you. Next year, Saturn will be on your ascendant for 3.5 years, 3 years approximately. So you must understand that while Mars is going to bring in karma, your personal involvement is also necessary. Your discipline towards your body is absolutely essential. Otherwise, there will be health issues. You need to figure out what is right for you and what suits your body, your mind, your soul the best. And then start you applying that into your daily life, daily routine. And you will see holistically your life will grow. And you will be able to find out what keeps you happy. And that is the secret of this transit. Mars would want you to work towards your own happiness and towards your own peace of mind. And that is the absolute message this transit has. So start working towards it. This transit also gives you more control. It helps you think in a very competitive manner. This helps you think through that brute force. It gives that enthusiasm, energy, desire. But then, how are you putting that desire into practice is absolutely essential, because Rahu's transit in the third house can misguide you. On one hand, Rahu is also transiting the house of Aries. On the other hand, Mars is transiting the sign of Aquarius, which is said to be co-ruled by Rahu. It is initiative, it is bold decisions, it is decision that affects your life permanently. All those things are happening, but there is a Rahu energy involved. On one hand, this energy can be absolutely powerful to pull you out from the negative situation. On the other hand, it can be devastating also. It can fan the fire. So any step taken out of ego, any step, decision of any area of life taken because of vengeance, frustration, will eventually fall into the hands of Rahu, and you won't stand to gain anything. The most affected areas will be connection with your brother and friends, your role in the family, and the biggest affected area will be marriage, because Mars will directly see the 7th house. Yes, if you are involved into competitive examination where actual competition is involved, if you are involved into combat exercises, if you are into martial arts, sports, this is very good, because Rahu will help you overcome the hurdles, overcome the fear. Mars gives the courage, Rahu gives the extra push. It's absolutely positive. But for a normal man, this extra push will help you lead somewhere. But understand, the push should be as equal, and it should be at par with what you are, who you are, at what age you are, at what position you are. Otherwise, that push is only an extra effort, resulting into zero output. Now, when the Karma Lord is also in the first house, it shows your duty and responsibility to handle the situation now by yourself and put an end to all the clutter and the problems in life, because Mars 8th aspect falls on the 8th house. No longer you want to see the impossible or uncertain. Now you want to see things to be more certain. So take some initiatives that makes things more certain, more firm. And Saturn's transit on the first house also gives you the platform on which you can stand. But don't take any decision that dislodges you from the platform, that breaks that platform, and then you will start floating in the air. One zodiac sign, Aquarius, is now affected by 3 planets, Mars, Saturn and Rahu. The saving grace here is Jupiter, which is in the 2nd house, which talks that you will get positive results, you will have family to support, you will have people around you, you will have money, you will have resource. But how you use your resource is the most important thing. Here, Kriyama and Karma will come into play. This is a power pack transit. This is a transit of efforts. This is a transit to take initiative. This is the transit to decide take a decision that is very concrete for your life and beneficial for your life. Challenging, maybe impossible, but now you have to make the impossible possible. Make this energy work in your favor. Chant Hanuman Chalisa. If you feel there are enemies, chant Bajrang Baan. Be more humble. Donate food. Change your lifestyle. Be more disciplined. And you will see the light of the day at the end of the tunnel. Once Mars moves into the sign of Pisces, by that time, you would have taken some crucial decisions in your life that will prove to be fruitful. Just don't believe in illusions. Always test the practicality and reality before you believe it to be true. Pisces Ascendant. For Pisces Ascendant, Mars rules 2nd house and 9th house. Mars will make its move in the 12th house on 7th of April. Mercury will make its move on the second house on 8th April. Now, why Mercury is important? Because Buddha controls your 4th and 7th house. Two most important Kendra Bhava related to your home, your business, both of them are controlled by Buddha, which is going into a Martian zodiac sign. And when Mars is in the 12th house, we can draw two instances from it, two reference from it. One, Mars is going to be over defensive. So you will have this defensive nature towards your family, towards your spouse, towards marriage. So there will be a certain level of insecurity, a possible chance of loss, or at least one of your family member leaving you, going to a long distance journey, and maybe going for a study or a job, but there can be some sort of temporary family shuffling. On the second reference that we can draw from this is that you are being over defensive towards your own action. It can create a doubt on your own self, because you will have this sense that something may happen, something wrong can happen, things can go in a negative way, there can be extra expenses. Extra expenses is definitely on the cards because your Dhana Lord, second Lord, is going in the 12th house. But remember that if you take control, if you are already planning strategy, if you're already planning your expenses, strategizing everything, then the expenses can be controlled or regulated. And if there is any expense, if there is any expenditure, it is to prevent your future loss. Say buying an insurance policy, it may be an expense, but this is to protect you and your family's future. And it can be an auspicious expense also. So it's not necessarily that things are only negative. In fact, this is a transit that affects your subconscious brain, so it will make you think a lot. It will make you think the solutions of the problem, but the problem is that while you are thinking, it should not be just thinking, but there should be some practical implementation also. If you have a broken door of the house of your room, try to repair that. Place your shoes outside your home if possible. Clean your home regularly. See all the defense mechanism, locks and knobs of the home, doors and windows should not be broken to remove any Vastu effect, negative Vastu effect. But the good thing is that your ascendant Lord is actually going to be on your ascendant. Therefore, this Mars must be working for Jupiter. Jupiter in the first house is guiding you. It is your personal expansion. So whatever expense you are doing, whatever strategy you are planning, or whatever defense you are creating is actually for your own personal benefit, for your own personal good. So have patience. This Martian energy will show you the results, but in future. The actions that you do now will give you the result in the near future. So have that patience. Don't rush to get a result. Results don't come from 12th house. 12th house is the house to give. This is an investment of time and energy. Now, when your 9th Lord is in the 12th house, this also means your dharma is to give. Also, it can mean that you are traveling to a foreign country, you are relocating your home. It can also mean that you are planning a travel, like a trip to a leisure place, you buy a resort, book a resort or something that creates expenses. That's an additional expense because Venus will also be there in the 12th house till the end of April. So definitely, if you are strategizing your life in a way that takes control of both investment and expenses, you should be okay. After all, Jupiter in the first house is going to make you realize that you are also important for yourself. Because usually Pisces have this philosophical mindset, and Pisces end up giving more than what they get, especially Pisces moon sign. But this time, Jupiter would want you to work for yourself. So this is an expense for yourself. I don't think you should stop that. Just regulate and control it. Mars will have the 4th aspect on the 3rd house. That is where you will be more defensive in your expression. in your emotions. That's okay, but don't be too possessive. Don't hold back too much. You must release the energy. 12th house Mars is an energy venting out. It should not be kept inside to an extent that it bursts out like a volcano when Rahu and Sun will collide in the future, in the May month only. There is an eclipse in the month of May also. I'll make a video on that. So subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications when I upload all those videos. Now coming back to the Martian 7th and the 8th aspect, Mars 7th aspect will be towards your 6th house, which also means that a part of your wealth can go back, can be spent recovering from the debts, paying off to the people from where you have taken the money, solving the court case, in dispute resolution of property. And Mars 8th aspect on the 7th house is the only concerning thing when Mars will move in the sign of Aquarius for Pisces, moon sign and ascendant people, because Mars 8th aspect damages marriage. So if you are in a bad marriage, this 45 day of Mars transit, about 45 days, you should be very careful towards your marriage, your relationship with your spouse, because any kind of aggression can lead to uncontrolled debate, argument, and maybe you can get hurt, and because of that and because of the anger, you may leave the home. The relationship may break unnecessarily. Rahu in the 2nd house can make you speak some really harsh words. And remember, words can create irreparable losses. So be careful on that front. Chanting Hanuman Chalisa, chanting Bajrang Baan every day, reading to Panchmukhi Hanumat Kavach is going to be extremely beneficial. And if you don't know, or if it is too difficult for you, just remembering Lord Hanuman by just chanting Shri Hanumate Namah is more than enough. Because you should remember that this Mars is trying to train your subconscious brain. And that is why there can be slight confusion, slight dilemma in spite of Jupiter, because Jupiter will take some time to show its effect. Mars can create internal aggression. It can make you impatient. So this is not the time to invest into stock market. This is not the time to lend your money unnecessarily to someone. This is not the time of risk taking in business, in career. But this is the time for controlled growth. If something is happening by its own, it is giving you good profit, you can go with the flow, but do not initiate risk-based lifestyle. Do not fall into the risk-based lifestyle. Don't gamble. Don't try to hope that it will turn out to be a good day in the future. What you have now, you should deal with that, and in a very practical and grounded manner. You can also buy rose quartz crystal and keep it with you, and that will give you the sense of love and harmony. Always show compassion, humility, humanity, and groundedness while you are communicating, while you are talking, because Rahu is going to be there for a quite long time. Jupiter is there. Everything is positive. But this Mars is like a Mars that is trying to check the final defense, the final perimeter, and if he finds any loophole, it can create panic. So it's not that every Pisces ascendant or moon sign will have that emotions coming into picture, but if you have an afflicted chart, if you are in some sort of vulnerable position, you will see that this will become a highly unstable transit. But for everybody else, this will be a transit where your mind is more focused, where you are focused towards finishing off the debt, finishing off the unnecessary, decluttering your life. And that is why this transit for Pisces ascendant is actually quite beneficial, and the real result you will see when Mars will move in the sign of Pisces after the transit completes in Aquarius. Make the best use of it.